What's good, peeps? Thanks always for passing by the channel. Much appreciated. Hit that subscribe button if you guys are new. I don't know why I feel the need to roll up my sleeves before we start every video, but I do. I've watched the videos and I do it all the time, don't I? Part of the psyche right now. It gets me in the zone, I guess. All right, a couple of things before we start the video. First things first, I have just seen the Joker movie. Fucking great movie. Great movie. A few of you guys on the Q&A recommended it, and boy, you did recommend something good. I loved it. I loved it. For me, solid 10 out of 10. I love those type of movies. I really do. If he doesn't get the Oscar for that performance, then fuck it, I just give up. I give up, right? I mean, he has to. He has to. The funny thing is, the movie came out, what, 2-3 weeks ago? I think about 3 weeks ago. Cinema was still packed. Cinema was still packed, so I think that film could go over a billion. Great. All right, second thing, very important thing this one is anyway, I did mention it on, I think, one of the last videos I did recently about my Sky Sports interview. They got back to me today, 10 in the morning. I saw the number and I thought, this could be it. This could be it. Answered it. Hello, Ade. No, hello, is that Ade? Yes, it is. Hi. I put my best voice on, I can't lie to you. This is so-and-so and so from Sky Sports. I was like, and I was like, unfortunately, I was like, oh, motherfucker. Unfortunately, you didn't get the role. I was like, oh, all right. But, I was like, what's the but? What's this but? Where's this but come from? We liked you so much. Not even joking. I know some people, you might think, Ade, you're chatting shit. I'm not chatting shit. I swear on everything that means a lot to me. But we really liked you and we'd like you to come down on Monday because we might have something else for you. So I go to the Sky Sports Studios on Monday, 2 o'clock. Yeah, I'm going to be doing something else. So what I was initially going for, I'm rattling on a bit here, I do apologize. For everyone that wants to come and just watch the video on Povetkin versus Hunter, fast forward a little bit. What I initially went for was actually Sky Sports News. That's what I initially went for, I can tell you guys now. But they, and to be honest, I would have loved that, obviously, but you kind of guys know my personality. It would be a bit, I guess, weird for me just to sit there and read the news, right? Probably wouldn't have worked out. So they saw the personality and said, you know what, we think you can do something else. So again, Monday, fingers crossed, people, fingers crossed. All right, let's talk boxing. It is a boxing channel after all. So it's been announced, or I think not the full fight card, but most of the fight card has been announced now for the AJ versus Andrew Ruiz fight that takes place Saudi Arabia, December 7th or 14th? December. I did apply for press accreditation. Haven't heard anything back, obviously. That means I'm not going to get it, which is disappointing. So if anyone from Matchroom watches this channel, I do think a couple of them watch this channel, please, can I get accreditation? Please. I know some of you might say, why don't you just buy a ticket and get out there? I could do that, but you do want to be able to have access to certain places and be able to do certain interviews. I'm not just going to go over there to watch the fight. I did want to take my camera and do some interviews, so hence why I'm asking for accreditation. I don't know how much the ticket is, but it's not about that. It's really just about the access. That's the reason I'm asking for accreditation. Anyway, so we did get a couple of names for the fight card. Hrgovic is going to be on the fight card. Didn't say who against. Actually, it did. Eric Molina. So Hrgovic versus Molina. Decent little scrap that. Molina can scrap. Hrgovic is good. Not quite sure if he's going to live up to the hype, but he's good. We get Jonah Carroll versus Scott Quigg. Bit of a strange one, that, but I do like it. Scott Quigg, almost a forgotten man when it comes to Matchroom, I think. Since he had that fight with Carl Frampton and lost, he then went to America, obviously started training with Freddie Roach, had that very good scrap with Oscar Valdez, broke his nose, face was all fucked up. Do you remember that fight? And not much since then, but he's a hard night's work for anyone, so I would actually favour him to beat Jonah Carroll. I think he's just a better boxer. Jonah Carroll obviously done some stuff since as well. Had that fight with Tevin Farmer, lost that for the IBF strap. Then had that fight in Mexico, won that. So his reputation's, I don't think it's been hampered or been hindered by that Tevin Farmer loss. I think it's just where it is right now, which is at a good place. So that's a good fight for both. Very good fight. Both of them will think they can win that fight. But the one we're going to talk about, the one that might be co-main event. I don't know. I think they still need something else, if I'm honest with you, but I do like the fight regardless. And that's the heavyweight clash between Povetkin and Michael Hunter. This one's been talked about for a while now, a long time, at least 6 or 7 months anyway. And I think it's a very, very good heavyweight scrap. Very good heavyweight scrap. I don't think Povetkin looked at his best, if I'm honest with you, against Hughie Fury. He looked a bit fleshy, looked a bit slow, but got the job done against a very negative Hughie Fury, very awkward, very, I don't know what else word to use for Hughie Fury, but he got the job done nonetheless, right? There was a part of me that thought he might get screwed on the scorecards, but he didn't. I thought, you know what, because Hughie Fury's just signed to Matchroom, they might try and push him. You never know what could happen. But he got the decision. And in Michael Hunter, I think he fights a style that he'll like. A guy that comes forward and throws punches. Michael Hunter doesn't stop throwing. Since that loss to Alexander Usyk, he's obviously gone up to heavyweight. Had some good wins, right? Came over here and bashed up Bakoli. A lot of hype about Bakoli now. There was back then. He kind of silenced that hype, got the win. Then he had the fight against Ustinov. Did he stop Ustinov? Why do I think he stopped Ustinov? Which is no mean feat, but he definitely put Ustinov down in that fight. That was one of those Monte Carlo shows. Had a fight against Kuzman, who beat David Price on a technicality at Wembley. I think he fought Fabio Moldano. I think that's the guy's name, former mixed martial artist guy. Forget that fight. But the wins against Kuzman, Ustinov, and Bakoli say that he's a threat. He's a threat. A lot of people say he's undersized. Possibly. Obviously, he started his career as a cruiserweight. As an amateur, though, he was in the super heavyweight division. Then came down to the heavyweight division. Decent amateur career. He's won Golden Gloves. He's been an Olympian. Won world championships at a junior level. So, decent amateur. Comes from boxing stock, if you like, as well. I think this is a great fight. I really do. Again, Hunter comes to fight. We know what Povetkin does. Povetkin doesn't take a backward step against anybody. Even watch the Vladimir Klitschko fight, right? Didn't take a backward step. Lost it, but didn't take a backward step. Joshua fight. Lost it, didn't take a backward step. We saw what he done to Price. That was almost like murder. Hunter really wants to put himself in a position where he's close to a world title shot. And I guess if he beats Povetkin, he is. Povetkin just wants to stay there where he is right now. Povetkin, you probably have Povetkin just below the top 3, right? I mean, people might say he should be below Usyk and maybe Dillian Whyte. I'm not sure about that. I don't think he should. Why should he? So, I mean, I'd only have the top 3 or 4 guys above him. So that's Ruiz, Joshua, Wilder and Fury. I wouldn't have Usyk above him right now. I wouldn't. And I wouldn't have Dillian Whyte either. So Povetkin wants to stay where he is, which is very close to a world title shot. Povetkin beats Hunter, he's in line. Hunter beats Povetkin, he's in line. So these guys are fighting, I think, for the right to fight for a world title next. And I'm really split as to who I think wins this. I really am. Gun to the head, I'd say Hunter. I'd say Hunter could just take this. Yes, we know how dangerous Povetkin is, but I like Hunter. I like fighters like Hunter. Hunter's ready to fight anyone. If you noticed, anytime anyone pulls out of a fight, whether it be Jarrell Miller, obviously getting pulled out of the fight with Joshua, Hunter's the first name, right? He's always the first person saying, look, I'll take the fight. Even this one with Derek Chisora, I'll take the fight. That's Hunter. I love a fighter like that. And I know people say he's undersized, but he's beat 3 or 4 very big heavyweights. Size doesn't faze him. There isn't any bigger heavyweight than Ustinov. There isn't, right? I know Ustinov fucking moves like he's stuck in mud, but there isn't. So size doesn't scare him, nor does power. He has ability. He can box. You know, he's not just a guy that throws punches recklessly. I mean, there is method to the madness there. So I'm going to favour Hunter to get the job done on points. I don't think he's stopping Povetkin. If anything, I think Povetkin could stop him. But I think Hunter should try and look at the way Hughie Fury boxed, but just throw a bit more punches. And I think Hunter's got ability to do that, although he likes to get stuck in. So I think it's a good scrap. I do, though, and I think I said this right at the beginning of the video, I do think this shouldn't be the co-main. I do hope that there's something else coming. Whether that be a Dillian White, again, that's the rumour, we don't know. There is talk about Kell Brook being on the undercard. I think it needs a bit more. I mean, again, so far, Hunter Povetkin, Hrgovic, Molina, Jonah Carroll, Scott Quigg. There's room for a couple more, right? I think anyway. And it would be nice for something special to be added to the card, but maybe it's a bit too late in the day now, I don't know. What do you guys think anyway? Hunter Povetkin, what's your prediction? I'm going Hunter. I'm going Hunter, Quigg, Hrgovic, Joshua. Peace.